Hi everybody, this is Cece here. I just wanted to do a quick Procreate tutorial on setting up your canvas size. So it's one of the first things you do. I know it seems really boring to think about, but it's really important because it can greatly impact how you ultimately use the artwork that you are about to create. And so keep in mind that you have to, when you start a project, to try to think what is it for? I mean, you might just be doodling and exploring Procreate, or just seeing what kind of cool things you can come up with for a website or whatever, social media, that kind of thing. But do take a moment to try to consider long term, because maybe it turns out great and you think, that'd be an awesome poster, or it'd be cool printed on this or that, and you're going to need a bigger, either a physically larger piece of art or a higher quality resolution so that it's nice and beautiful when it prints. So keep that in mind. I think ultimately just start big, because you can always resize down. It's super easy to go the other way, but you can't go in reverse, okay? So like I said, keep in mind the artwork purpose. One of the things you can consider, in the stage 2 are your ratios, like your length to width ratio. That's probably something to just kind of ballpark. Like if you are gonna do a web banner, to think of starting with something, a long strip kind of thing. But if you're thinking, I don't know, or you just really don't know what the ultimate and purpose of this artwork is, then keep it, generic, like a page size. Excuse me. Okay, so let's talk about how to go ahead and set that up. Okay, so you're going to launch Procreate, as you already know, it's pretty obvious, and click the plus sign in this corner. This brings you the drop down of your canvas sizes. Procreate does come with some already set up for you, but they're totally flexible and easy to recreate, and so don't be afraid to experiment and to go ahead and delete the ones that are there already, because they just might not suit you. And so what you would do is go ahead and drag across, and it's going to show this display. You can edit or delete it. I've set these up for my purposes, and so now I have them, and they're my go-tos for starting a new project. I don't have to do this every single time, so it's a good idea to go ahead and start getting in the habit, or at least go ahead and set up a couple options that are going to work for you and get them in there, and then you don't have to do it again. But if you did, or when you are first setting it up, go ahead down here and create your custom size. It's going to pull up this menu. You can see you have different units of measurements depending on how you like to think, or what works for you. For me, I'm from North America, so I tend to think in inches, and I know that a poster size, for example, let's set up a poster, a large poster that you would print on Society 6 or your local print shop. You can go in here, inches, I believe it is 24 inches by 36 inches. I'm going to go ahead and label it. Be sure to label these so that it's easier for you to identify them when you go to select them later. Poster, print, large. Large. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to want to also consider is your DPI. If you're not familiar, that means dots per square inch, and that's how much information is in each little section of your artwork. So typically, you want to keep that as high as possible. As you can see, Procreate does have limitations to how big a canvas or a file size you can have. It's telling you right here that it's too large, probably because these are large physical dimensions. I know from experience already that at 300 DPI, which would be ideal for printing, is not possible because of the limitations of file size in the Procreate on the iPad. But I know also from experience that I can do 175 DPI. And now because my the actual physical size of the file is sized to 24 by 36, using a DPI of 175, it's going to be fine. Just don't take it below there. And there you go, and it's set up for that. So let's create that, and you can see it automatically opens it when you do that. But you can see that it's in my pull down menu now. So I can always go back and do that. For me, I've labeled them to tell me that they're print worthy or not. And so, because I want to know that it's high resolution, not just the physical dimensions. See, it's 5 by 7, but I put print, so I know that that's high resolution. It's going to print beautifully. In contrast, I do have a web banner that's sized for these pixels, and that's a lower resolution. And so I know because it's a web banner, I'm always going to use it for web banner, never for print. So I set it up accordingly. Anyway, it's just great to have all these options all set up, ready to go whenever you need them, whenever you have a project, or if you're just, gives you that great flexibility. If you don't know what it's going to be for, that's totally most of the time what you're going to do on your iPad, in your spare time, just messing around anyway. So I would urge you to go ahead and do that. Okay, one last thing I wanted to go ahead and mention is that when you are in an artwork, you can take a look. If you forget what file you used and you want to double check that, there is an option in this tool under the canvas selection. You can look at your canvas information and it'll remind you what the dimensions are, what the DPI is, how many layers you've used, and your maximum layers. That's another thing to consider too. When you have bigger file size, due to the resulting size of the file, it's going to start to limit how many layers you can do. So this one, you can see it's big. It's 12 inches by 10. It's high, super high resolution, 600, probably a little too high. And it's only going to allow eight layers, and that's just because of the overall file size that's possible. So that's how you can look it up. There's also cool things that you can do here with your canvas. You can crop and resize it, but keep in mind that I would make a copy. I would duplicate this file before I did any of this, because it's pretty, if you close your file, you've lost everything. So I would not do that I would do that on a duplicate copy. You can flip your canvas vertically, horizontally, which is cool. You can look at the information. You can use drawing guides, but that's if you're doing something maybe architectural or whatever. Crop and resize. So I'm show you how you can do it, and you can also rotate your artwork a bit and move this and crop it, say, in there. Okay, see, I'm super scared to do it. I'm not even going to do it. I would have duplicated this first and then mess with the cropping, so you're not sad in the end. So that's about all I wanted to say. I know it's not a very exciting topic, but I just really want to urge you to go ahead and set up your own custom canvases so that you're ready to go on the fly. Remember to start big. You can always resize down without the loss of quality, but not the other way. Okay, hope that helps. Bye.